Hi, in this video, I want to talk a little bit about goal setting. If there's one thing that really makes a huge difference in us creating results in our life, in whatever we're looking at, our career, our family, our relationships, our health, it's all about goal setting. And even though we may not be great at goal setting, I think we can all get better. And certainly when I am working with my corporate clients, I notice that goal setting is something that comes up quite often. And usually what I find is that people are pretty good about goal setting for their division, their department, or for their company. But where they're not so good is actually their personal goal setting. So in this short video, I want to talk a little bit about some of the things I've learned about goal setting in my own life, in my career, but also that I share with my corporate clients. And I think you're going to find it really valuable. So first of all, why do we need goals? Well, I think there's three huge benefits that we get from creating goals. The first is we get to say no. What I mean by that is because we have important things we want to get done, because we have objectives that we're trying to create or places we're trying to go or money we're trying to save, we have a choice to say no. I use this expression a lot in my training, which is those that don't have goals are ruled by those that do. I mean, a simple example is that if you come to work with a clear set of goals for what you're going to achieve that day, you, of course, are going to try to focus and get it done. And so when people try to interrupt you, you're going to have a good reason to say, no, thank you. Like, I actually don't have time for that. Or for that long personal phone call, or for that invitation to lunch. Alan Kay, the scientist, the computer scientist years ago that said, the best way to predict the future is to create it. And what I think he means there is, let's go and create our own future by setting goals. So the first advantage of creating goals is we get to say no. The second is it saves you time. So because I have goals that drive my year and my week and my day, I am going to be focused on how to be more efficient and more effective. And so because those goals helping to make good choices, it actually helps me to save time. So a good example is that when I'm in conversations with people, I will tend to want to get to the point. I want to get to what it is that we're going to make a decision about. When we're in meetings, I want the meetings to be efficient and as short as possible so that I can actually get on to the goals that I want to achieve. And the third advantage of having goals is that it helps us, of course, to achieve more. And how it does that is because it creates a certain tension. And that tension is between where I am and where I need to go to. So it's from my present state to my future state. So for example, if I want to save more money or drink less coffee, or I want to achieve more this week, or I want to improve a relationship that I'm involved in, well, I need to get from this present state to this future state. And a goal will help me to get there. Because what it does is it creates some kind of a tension. So there's a tension, and that tension is going to drive me forward to create great results. All right, so what I want to share with you are 4 things that I think are important for creating goals, because we all know about goals, but where is it that, what do we need to do to make those goals as effective as possible? Well, okay, first thing that I think that we all need to do is we need to figure out, well, what do we want? In this whole mixed bag of all the things that are possible in our life, in our career, in our relationships, and with our health, what is it that we want? So we have to have that desire. And that's, comes to us from our experiences, from our reading, from conversations, or simply because of what we're looking at that we're lacking. So we have to have this desire, and hopefully that desire is strong enough that it's going to promote us to go and create the goal. So once we have that desire, the first thing we need to do is we need to record our goal. So it's important to get it on paper. But in addition to getting it on paper, what I recommend is that we give it some time. Some time to percolate, some time to stew, some time for us to think about it. When I come off a flight, or I've been out of town, or I've been out for a run, and I've had a chance to think creatively, I come back with all sorts of ideas. And I've recorded them on my phone or on a note paper, and I have all these things that I could do. It's great, that's great. So what I want to do is I want to write them down, because there's some desire there, there's something that I want to go and create, but I need to also allow some time for it to settle. A lot of these great ideas are not so great 24 hours later. So I want to record it, give it some thought, but let it sit for a little while. Second thing that I want to do when I'm creating goals that are going to be effective is I want to write them in the SMART fashion. So I want to write them as specific, as measurable, as achievable. I want to have some risk in there. That's that tension. I want to make sure that my goals are not too small. I want to have some risk in there, and I want to add some time constraints onto it. So the SMART acronym is going to help me to make sure that when I write my goal down, it's actually something that's going to drive results, and it's not going to be too vague, or it's perhaps too big or too small. And I want to as well, I want to chunk it down. So often when I'm working with people, they have these great goals, but they haven't moved on the goal. They haven't made the first step. And the reason is because they have no idea what is the first step. So we need to chunk it down. We need to decide, well, what is the action that I can take that maybe only takes me 20 minutes, but it gets me closer to my goal. You know, for a lot of people, they want to lose weight. They want to eat better. They want to save more money. Well, all of those goals can be broken down into a small chunk that they can do on a daily basis, actually, that's going to make them feel more healthy, more energetic. It's going to make them feel more wealthy. It's going to make them feel that they actually are on top of their game. So we need to chunk it down. The next thing that we need to do, step 3, is we need to make sure that our goals are visible. So we need to have some way that our goals are actually in front of us, that we come across them, that we are reminded of them. So for me, I have a simple a time tool that I use, which keeps track of my long-term goals, my action plan, which is for my week, and then my day plan, which is for the day. And I don't prescribe to any one particular format, but I do think it's important that you are constantly looking at those goals and you're reminded of them and you're motivated by them. The final thing that we need to do, step 4, is we need to look at small wins. So we need to find the small advantages that we've gotten from this effort that we've put in, or this choice that we've made, that teaches our subconscious that there was a payoff. You know, for example, if you go to a gym because you want to get healthier, you can't really look in the mirror at the end of the workout and see a change in your body. You'd be pretty surprised if you could. But what you might feel is you might feel more energetic. You might feel more optimistic. You might feel like, well, that was great because I kept a promise to myself. That's what you want to notice. You want to notice the small win that teaches yourself that this effort had a payoff. Sometimes we think that because we create a goal, we're going to have this amazing breakthrough and we're going to get this amazing result. But usually life doesn't work that way. Life is usually created, like success in life is created by small wins that we get on a daily basis, small things that add up to big things. So the last thing I recommend is, once you've had the desire, you've recorded it, given it some time to percolate, then you moved it forward into a SMART goal and you've broken it down into chunks, you keep it visible. The last thing is to pay attention to the small advantages and small wins that you enjoy because of that goal. All right, I hope that was useful for you, and we will see you next time. Thanks.